I'm Brian Howard, Pro Video Coalition. I'm with FilmConvert. Now, I'm in my garage. FilmConvert is in the color suite and home office or dining room. And, we would be doing NAB, would be in person, but, coronavirus. So, FilmConvert, please introduce yourselves. I'm going to mess it up if I do.
I'm John. I'm the marketing manager for FilmConvert. And with me, I have my colleague, Sam Wiles, who's our color science and camera engineer. We were very much looking forward to being in NAB this year, but unfortunately, that's all kind of went south very quickly. We had our air tickets booked and our hotels. We were planning a big party for our launch for our software. And yeah, we had to kind of pull everything very quickly. And we're very fortunate because we're an online business and we sell software that we were able to relocate to working from home pretty seamlessly. Actually, it hasn't been too much of a hardship for us. We know a lot of other production people are really suffering right now, so our hearts go out to them. But we'd love to share with what we've been working on, and hopefully something which can make a lot of people's lives easier.
Sam, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Sam. I am the camera and color engineer for FilmConvert, so I am the person that gets to play with all the cameras and develop the FilmConvert looks that are all tailored to the camera. And I'm currently in Wellington, New Zealand, in my own color suite, but we are very much under lockdowns like everyone else. So no Las Vegas this year, unfortunately.
You are luckily in a country who seems to be handling this coronavirus very well.
It's very nice. Yes. We're lucky to have the leadership that we do at the minute. It's very nice.
So, FilmConvert, what would you all be talking about? And NAB, if we were on the show floor, what would you be showing us right now?
What we have in the works is we previously announced it at NAB back in 2017, and then we were there last year as well, showing the kind of first working demo of it. But it's our camera matching plugin for Adobe Premiere Pro called CineMatch, which is a camera matching plugin. A lot of people out there shooting multiple cameras. You take whatever cameras you kind of have available to you, whatever you're hiring, but you often mix and match between Canon, Sony, Blackmagic. Maybe you've got a drone that you're kind of incorporating footage in. And as anybody who's shot multiple cameras knows, each of the cameras has their own kind of particular personality and particularly color science, different color characteristics. People say Canon has kind of warmer skin tones. Sony has its own particular look. People love the Arri Alexa because it's had beautiful kind of highlight roll-off and skin tones. And so all those cameras shoot differently. And when you get into your edit, the first thing you have to do before you can even start your creative color gradings, you need to balance and match all those cameras up. And it's a really labor-intensive process. It's very technical. It's not really creative. You're just kind of trying to iron out the differences and all the different between the flavors of the different cameras.
I can attest to this problem. I have tried my darndest to match a Blackmagic to a Sony, and I think there is literally not a harder camera combination to match than the skin tones from a Sony and the skin tones from a Blackmagic G2. Oh my goodness! Please tell me you found a way to make my life easy.
Yeah, we're working hard to make it as easy as possible for you. So we have developed a very extensive conversion between the two cameras. And after that, we developed a toolkit that makes the rest of the match intuitive and very easy to put together. And so our conversions are backed by a huge array of data that's been collected by myself, and we then do the conversion with the click of a button. You just choose the profile you have and the profile you want to target, and then you have a sensor match. And then from there, you have maybe environmental factors that have creeped into your image. Different light sources have affected your white balance, different exposure. You can use our tools, a few sliders to quickly fix that, and then you've got a nice balanced timeline that you can just go on to do your grade.
So how is this implemented? Do you have to be in the FilmConvert software? Can you be in a Premiere Pro? I'm kind of new to FilmConvert, so you're gonna have to explain this one to me.
Cinematch, the first bite that we're going to be sending out in the next week, hopefully, is a Premiere Pro plugin. So you're going to find it in the effects menu of Adobe Premiere. And so you've got, it'll work, it fits right into your workflow. You basically just drag Cinematch on as the first effect. You don't do any other color management, don't apply any LUTs. You simply drop it on. You've got your two clips, your Blackmagic and your Sony, and you simply tell it, I shot it on BMD film on my Blackmagic, and I want to make it look like my Sony S-Log3. Choose your source, choose your target, sensor match gets applied. You'll see your image change, and then you can either start grading on the log there, so you've now got two log clips of the exact same camera.
I'm guessing this was not an easy task to do.
This has been 4 years of hard R&D, and we have discovered, we were very ambitious back in 2017. We were hoping to have a beta out by the end of that year. And we've discovered between our team of researchers and developers and Sam's kind of hard work on the camera side, just about every reason why camera matching is difficult. Where there are issues between different dynamic ranges. If you've got a camera with a smaller dynamic range and a wider dynamic range, how do you map colors between those? We've got minimalism, which is a whole field in and of itself of color science, and we've done a lot of research into those. So it's been a long, long journey, but the technology that we're sending out now is based on the FilmConvert library of cameras. We support over 50 cameras in FilmConvert, and we take those cameras through a very rigorous testing process and profiling, where we shoot a range of charts under a range of lighting conditions, ramp through the exposure. So we basically know all of the colors that camera can produce theoretically, and that's how we manage to map colors from one camera to another. So it's all based on real world. There's no AI, there's no kind of machine interpolation or anything going on. This is based on real sensor data that we captured, and then using algorithms to basically map what does that blue in that Canon actually look like on that as blue on that Sony.
Can you all do a screen share and show us any of this?
Absolutely, yeah. I've got a project here. Great. So yeah, I'm on my home laptop, which again, is not a grading machine, so I don't have a lot of screen real estate to work with here. I'll show you.
I do a lot of color grading on a laptop. I understand.
Cool. So what I've got here is a timeline set up with a whole bunch of clips from, we shot these all on the same day, the same, so you can see me there in the shot. And these are shot on different cameras. You can see on the whiteboard there, this is the Panasonic GH5, and this clip was the Fuji X-T3. So these are all shot simultaneous conditions, just one after the other, same lighting, same time of day. And these, what I've got here is the Cinematch plugin on. And right now, let's see. There, and I'll put on comparison view. Start. So you can see here on the left-hand side, I've got a clip from the Fuji X-T3 shot in F-Log. And on the right-hand side, I've got a clip shot from the Panasonic GH5 in V-Log. And just in the Cinematch settings on my Fuji clip, I've chosen my source for my Fuji X-T3 F-Log, and I've told it to target the Panasonic GH5 V-Log. And on the Panasonic clip, I've told it the source was the Panasonic GH5 V-Log, and I'm just bypassing conversion. And then for both of those, I'm just applying a RIC 709 transform. And you can see just kind of out of the box, that's with no other adjustments, that's how close you're getting on those two. And then with a minor exposure adjustment on that clip. Oops, away. You can see how close you're getting those colors right away, and that took 5 seconds, and I'm not a professional color grader or anything. So from there, you've got primary controls, exposure, temperature, and tint. all of which are customized to the actual profile you're using. So it'll work on when you're adjusting a Panasonic GH5 source, it'll be as though you're exposing that, adjusting that exposure in camera. We have various false color views to help you change to adjust exposure to match between two images, temperature, skin tones, and tint. And then we have some secondary corrections as well. So we're not intending Cinematch to provide an instant 100% perfect match straight out of the box. We've done our best to get there with the sensor match, and we think the sensor match on the data that we have now for 80 to 90% is going to get you 80 to 90% of the way there, and faster than you could possibly do it manually yourself or hunting around for that technical luck that you developed 3 months ago and now you can't remember what folder it's saved in. Cinematch is going to save you that amount of time to align and help you balance those two log signals so you're looking at a really consistent, balanced image.
That seems like a lot of under the hood work is being done, and you actually turn it into a click of the button. Sam, I'm guessing that was a little bit of mojo of you trying to take these and match them, and that's being applied in there. I'm not sure how this works. I'm not a tech guy, I'm a camera guy. I like to be outside, so.
Yeah. Basically, what you're looking at when you choose your target camera is basically in an instant we are going from, we're taking the full color range backed by a lot of color data of camera A, and we are taking it to a certain space and then converting it to the new camera, but instantaneously. So it's as accurate as anything else on the market.
So what does it? For example, it takes that Fuji film, takes that color space, that image, transforms that into another one. What's that middle transform? Is it like an ACES? Is it just flat or whatever? And then turns that into, in this case, the Panasonic GH5.
It's essentially our own design that we've worked hard to figure out which works the best for us. But we the transforms are so Fuji is F-Log and F-Gamut, which is essentially Rec 2020. So the conversion goes, if you're targeting V-Gamut, V-Log, then we make sure that the space is fully accommodated so that you can then make adjustments when you are within that space, and the transform is as accurate as possible throughout that.
Does this type of transform, is it destructive to the original image or not?
Now, there is these dynamic range issues, but that comes in from the camera and not from Cinematch. Essentially, if you're trying to match a 12-stop image to a 15-stop image, you can't essentially create 3 stops that haven't been recorded out of anything. It will still retain that 12 stops, but you will have that 12 stops as if that camera had seen it within the scene.
Like you're gonna struggle matching a GoPro 3 with an Arri Alexa Mini, right? I mean, like, if you don't know that, that's gonna be troublesome for you, the viewer.
The general idea is that we can make it look the same, but if you shot the scene on the Alexa and you've got something ridiculous like 14 stops, and the GoPro flat is probably maxed out 7 stops, maybe, it's not going to create. It's not going to give you anything that, like, it's not going to reveal anything in those shadows that you thought you might have captured. It's the essence of a GoPro in that filter. However, it will retain that 7 stops, but now in Arri's color science. So it will look and respond as if you had shot those 7 stops with the Arri camera.
And so this setup seems like really great for, let's say you have like a Sony FX9 and like a Canon C500. Those two are going to look different because of the nature of those two sensors, but this is kind of pulling them to be as similar as they can be. Some things are going to be hard to match. I'm assuming like skin tones that are going to need a more detail, but this is getting you in the ballpark, right?
We're hoping it'll get you to the ballpark, but it should be a fairly small ballpark. We're really hoping that the sensor match is going to get you a long way there, and then you should be able to any other little tweaks that you might need to make to exposure, color, temperature. We've provided dedicated tools to do those right there in the plugin, plus the false color. You should be able to make those corrections really quickly. Again, we're hoping you should be able to get to a good usable match within kind of 30 seconds, a minute tops, whereas something that might have usually taken you 3 to 4 minutes per pair. And then you're going to be able to use this transform at the master clip levels. You can apply it to your entire transform. So it's really about accelerating your camera matching process. We can't automate it entirely yet. We're working on, this is the first version of the software, and depending on feedback from users, we're going to try and automate more of these features as we go. But we're so excited about how well the sensor match performs now. We want to get this out into the hands of people and hear how they're using it, and hear what further improvements we can make.
As someone who has spent most of a day after a network shoot sweetening his video and then exporting it out, time saved is time with family, to be honest, and it saved money. So anything that speeds it up from 30 seconds to a minute to get something to match, so someone else down the line isn't griping or complaining, is much needed tool. Thank you. So when is this gonna hit the market? How can people get it, and how much is it gonna cost?
We're sending out what we're calling an early access beta to people who have already signed up at cinematch.com. And if you are very quick when you see this now, you can still sign up for that beta. We're going to be sending out the download link. It's going to be for Premiere Pro on Windows and Mac. And that'll be a watermarked beta that you can try out. It works on about 25 cameras at the moment. And we're really going to be hitting up those people for feedback. Obviously, with 25 cameras, all the kind of picture style supported there, that's tens of thousands of combinations. We can't possibly test them all in-house with the cameras we've got. So we're going to be asking those users, go out, because obviously a lot of people are just sitting at home at the moment, grab a couple of cameras, shoot some stuff, shoot some match pair footage, test any match out on it, and let us know how it's working. We really want to hear that feedback on both how the sensor match is performing, and then also the UI, the workflow, how they can get it, how quickly they're being able to get to a really good matched pair. So that's going out this week to those users. Depending on the feedback of that, if people absolutely love it and they're saying buy it now, then we're going to put out a paid version, retail version very soon. If people say it's working great, but love to do this, then this is going to be an evolving project, and we're going to keep on adding in, as I said, more automated features and more tools in the matching process to help people get to that match even quicker.
25 cameras, it sounds like a lot of cameras, but there's a lot of cameras in the world. How long until someone's camera that's not on that list is added?
We're putting out new cameras every couple of weeks at the moment. We've just put out the DJI Zenmuse X7, the Inspire 2 drone is our most recent camera. We just profiled the FX9, as you mentioned, and we've got really good, we've spent some time building up relationships with all the camera manufacturers. So we're on their list when they have new cameras to send out. Next up, we've got the 1DX Mark III. We need to do the C500 Mark II from Canon. Canon R5 at some point would be great to get as well. But we're also really reliant if we get a whole host of requests from users saying, please profile this camera, then we'll do our best to kind of bump that up the queue as well. We know crucially for Cinematch, we're going to need to have the profile support in the plugin in order for people to be able to use it successfully. So we're really going to be ramping up those efforts too.
Is there anything that we're missing? I have another call to jump on here soon, I think, but I just want to make sure we've touched on everything about Cinematch.
No, I think we've got it. Again, go to cinematch.com, sign up for the beta release. We'll be sending out links for that this week. If you want to use this, we'd be really thrilled to hear from you. And especially what we're just hoping to make color graders, shooters, editors' lives easier by kind of speeding up this process. And the more feedback we get from them, the better.
Okay. Well, thank you for helping people like me speed up the process of matching colors. I will say it's very much appreciated. Thank you for taking the time. You guys stay safe.
No worries. Stay safe.